Yes, good morning, Lisa. Amaro, how are you today?
I'm great, thank you. How about you?
I'm okay. I'm okay. You're here on this is behind the scenes podcast with Spank Master Boogie. You're a producer. You're also an artist, a singer. You do a lot of you have a lot under your belt right now.
I do. I do. I just creatively do whatever it is comes to mind, and I like to create stuff. Sometimes musically, sometimes with different mediums. But yes.
Yeah, diversity is always good. You don't have just one skill set. It's always good coming to the table in the industry. It's always a plus. So
Yes.
let me know. I'm curious to know about your artwork that you're currently doing.
Okay. The graphics.
Well, I know that you're doing like some art and graphic design, and there's like canvases for sale and different items that people can purchase, tote bags and things like that.
Oh yes,
And I
yes,
noticed you like what do you want to call, like, landscapes and themes like that. You know what I mean?
yes. I do. Well, I do photography. I love black and white photography. As you know, I'm always in black and white. I do a lot of
Okay.
just pictures and sorts. And right now I'm starting to do color splashes. And I signed up with Fine Art America so that when I upload my work, it gets turned into whatever it is that you like to get. So it's just a
Okay.
way
How
to.
can people find you on Fine Art America?
There's links all over my website. If you just go to lisaamaro.com, there's links to
Okay.
my music licensing and to products you can buy and stuff like that. So yeah.
Great, great, great. So I'm also curious to know what made you get into producing as a woman. I'm not saying that women producers are like not out there, because there's a lot out there. I'm
Mhm.
just curious to know what's your inspiration and what motivated you to start doing that.
I This is just such a creative outlet. I think I've always done it in the background, and no matter what I did, I always sort of came back to creating something. And I don't just, my initial goal was never to just be, oh, I'm going to be a singer. It was not to be a singer, it was to actually create the entire piece of entertainment for someone to enjoy. So at the time, it's just kind of like I really want to focus on background music and for people who are creating themselves and are getting stuck with these, YouTube strikes and stuff like that because they're using somebody else's music that is not, it hasn't been licensed or it's just not allowed. So that's kind of what
Right, right.
drove me to do this.
The content ID on YouTube. Yeah, that's a big thing. I actually talked to a few producers about that on several occasions, and it's something that people aren't really familiar with if they're new to the industry, or they're not really business minded and things like that. How YouTube does have some generation of income, and also the licensing behind a lot of the original instrumental music and stuff like that. But
Yes.
you've got to single out "Breathe." I've heard that. That's a very nice song. So your goal is to be like some film scores and things like that in the future. Is that
Yes.
something that you're interested in doing?
That was always the original goal. The reason that I did Breathe was to go through the process to try to figure out what it takes for someone, an average person, to record something and get it up on iTunes. And that was the point of the Breathe soundtrack. It wasn't like, hey, this is my masterpiece or anything. I just wanted to get something out there just to see what the process was to get there. And I figured it out. And I do have a video on that, what happened and how long it took and all that stuff. So,
Okay, okay,
yeah.
great. I like that song. It's a great song. It's a. I can't really put it in a genre. It's more ambient music, and that's what it. I mean, that's what it is, and it's good because a lot of people are just stuck on these different genres of music, and that's they
Right.
just sort of they put themselves in that genre, and then they can't really get out of it. You know what I mean?
That's true. And that was the original problem with me. Well, I saw it as a problem. I don't see it as a problem anymore because, you know, everybody wants to kind of stick you in, oh, what do you sound like and where do you fit in? And to me, music isn't really like that. Like, I get it, but it's not how I create things. I don't specifically stick them to a particular, like, I can't do country, you know. I can only
Right,
do whatever
right.
comes out. And that's just my style, and I understand it. And a lot of the times, sometimes I feel like it sounds the same. I try to make it not sound the same, but something that will bring out a mood in somebody. So that's my basis for when I create something.
And that's a good mood. I mean, so Lisa, also as a singer, are you a classically trained singer? What made you start singing? I mean, you have a good voice, and have you done other things in the past that led up to that single being released?
Um, I, I, I've been singing since I was 3 publicly. I stopped around my teens and then tried to kind of come back a little bit, um, in my late teens. But I didn't like the performing aspect of it, or the singing part of it. I actually don't think I have a great voice. I don't think it's the best, but I do
Okay.
with what I got, you know. And I
Right.
do like I like performing. It was just the singing part that, I don't know, my nervousness, I guess, it just kind of got to me. So I kind of stopped. But I still like to record, and I still like to hear things created, and to make other people happy, really, when they hear my stuff. So, no,
Right.
I don't
Right.
have any professional um, experience in
Singing
regards to
creds or
like
anything like that. It's all good.
yeah, I haven't been trained or anything, but yeah, I have performed before, and
Performing is that's the main piece of the industry. I mean, performing, being able to come up with a good quality product in the studio and record. So right now, as far as editing for you, you're also getting involved in like video editing and things like that, like the photography end of it as well as the video editing. Tell me more about that.
I have been in video editing for, I'd say, about 10, maybe 15 years. Um, it's
Wow.
just everything that has to do with production itself was always attractive to me. It wasn't just singing. So that's where people get confused. Like, they think I'm just a singer. I'm not a singer. Like, I make things happen. Video
Right.
editing, I really started to just train myself with different programs. Whatever I could possibly learn, I try my best to excel at it. And as of right now, the latest one that I use is Final Cut Pro. I'd like to eventually get to After Effects, but um, for now, a lot of it is done through Final Cut Pro X, and it's, once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy. But yes, it's
Right,
helpful to
right. For
learn.
you, maybe. For you.
Yeah.
Not for everybody. Some people, I mean, I had it back in the day. It was not just getting the file into the computer for me was difficult. You know what I mean? So I didn't
When
get into any. Some people have that knack to know how to edit, and they have I have a cousin that's what he does. He's good at that. But it's not for it's not easy to everybody. You know what I
it's
mean?
it's not, and when I started, we were still using VHS, so editing has
Right.
come a
Wow.
long way.
The VHS tape. You know what I mean? That's the quarter-inch reel spinning around in the. That's before Redbox and before iTunes and all that was a VHS.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. It's come
That's
a
what's
long
up.
way.
So you're doing a good job. I'm glad to have the interview. I want to keep it real simple with all the people out there. How can they
Sure.
find you on social media? And just, for closing words.
Well, I'm always on Twitter. I say hello to everyone. My Twitter handle is Lisa Amaro. If you go to lisaamaro.com, you'll find all links to all my social media that I use. There are some that I don't use, so hopefully you will find me there. But mostly Twitter. That's my main communication for a lot of other
You're pretty
musicians.
big on Vine as well.
I did.
You love Vine. You
I
love Vine.
love that. That was kind of where I started. When I actually
Okay.
decided to come out and be public. I started on Vine, and yeah, just little. I mean, I did little parodies with voice and music and stuff, and that was a lot of fun. I would love to get back into that again, but time is a little different now. But
Right.
yes,
Right.
that was. Vine is also one of my other babies.
Vine is awesome. I mean, I see Vines that are doing like a million loops, a gazillion loops, and Vine is one of those places where you can promote and market something in a real short manner and get a point across just through something funny or fun and some informational stuff, and that's awesome
Exactly.
that you're on Vine. I mean, I'm not really on Vine like that, but I noticed that you're really doing well on Vine,
I
and
was
people out there can hit you up.
every single day was like it was just to create a vine. That was what I did every single day for about a year. That was
Right,
2014.
right,
So I tried every day to work on. Some would take 3 days. I mean, it's 6 seconds, but some of them would take like 3 days. So,
right.
but yes, that's how I generated a nice following. Is you keep doing it, you keep going at it, and people notice and they decide to come back for more if they like you, and then it just sort of grows from there. But once I kind of stopped doing vines and started moving into the other, I started focusing on YouTube a little bit more. um,
Okay.
yeah, the following and stuff and the views started going down, and yeah, there was, if you pay attention to it, that's where everybody's gonna go. So
Right, right, right.
yeah,
Because people have short attention spans. I mean,
exactly.
I tell people all the time, there's people out there that are eager for information, but they're really just their attention spans are not the best, and we have to give them something in a short, quick moment to catch their attention, like, so that they will, grasp something like a full song or a
Right.
full album and things like that in this digital age.
Right. And that's why in some of my YouTube videos, like, I'm creating something else in the background. Like, I have the music playing so that you get to experience the music, but I'm doing something else on the screen so that you got a couple of things to look at in case you're not interested in one or the other. But
Right.
that's kind of why I do
Options.
it that way. Exactly.
Yeah, well, I mean, for me, you're inspiring to a lot of women out here to continue on in the tech industry, in the creative industry as
Yeah.
well, and I think that's a beautiful thing. I mean, I'm glad you're able to work with other artists that are out there. I see you work with tell me some of the other projects that you've done lately.
Lately, I'm working on a new song with Psychological Trip, and I've worked with Dan Geschwind. He's from Germany, and we also made
Okay.
a song together. And there's a violinist. Her name is Bridget, and we're supposed to collab soon too. And
Okay.
basically, anybody. There's also another DJ who is actually working on one of my vocal loops, because I allow some vocal loops to be downloaded so that DJs can use them and mix them into their creations if they want. I have those free to anybody. Just for fun. I mean, it's
Right,
all
right.
in good fun.
It's all in fun. That's right.
Yes.
So I appreciate the interview. BehindTheScenesPodcast.com. You also can find Lisa Amaro at LisaAmaro.com. That's Lisa, AMARO.com. We're happy to have you, and more success to you, and more collaborations, and more creative souls just combining out into the world to bring forth something that's positive. That's always good,
Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. Thanks for having me.
Okay, that concludes the interview. One love.
That's how we do. DJ Spank, Master Boogie. One time for your mind. Holla back at your boy. Just shut up and listen to the DJ sometimes. You know what I'm saying?